What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Osmosis Jones, and we're back with another action figure conversation. Today, we are talking about Marvel's Rage. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I know the most about this guy because, the last time I actually seen him, it was from the 3 3/4 inch Marvel Legends that they used to make, and always thought to myself, like, man, I'd like to see him in 6 inch form. Well, I got my wish. Here he is. Um, the back of his packaging reads, accidental exposure to toxic chemicals as a young man. Elvin Holiday uh, got superhuman powers. I did some research last night online to see more about him. I did find out he was in the Avengers for a short time, and then he was also in the new Warriors crew. He has a couple other appearances throughout the Marvel universe, but that's just a little backstory. Um, but I actually thought that he was a you know Latino guy, just because looking at the mask, you think wrestling, lucha libre, but actually he's from Brooklyn and he's African American. So that's a little fun fact for you guys if you didn't know that. But let's get into talking about the figure a little bit. Um, he's on that Hyperion body mold that a lot of people talk negative about, but for this character, it kind of fits. I want to say the arms look a little bit small to me, but you know, he's not like a supposed to be a huge beefy guy, but I probably would have liked to upper body to have been on that Hercules buck just to fill him out a little bit more. But that's my opinion on that. Uh, but the most people should know by now that at Hyperion articulation, so I'm not going to cover that. But I will say with this guy, he is all his joints and everything are very not stiff, but they definitely not floppy at all. Um, so that's something to be thankful about there. Although I do feel like the knees are a little gummy, so be careful with that. Um, his vest is is very dope. Um, it's got that molded like leather feel, so it looks cool with the little yellow highlights and silver buckle here. So you could have Rage doing a whole lot of stuff. They actually got some. I don't know if you guys can see it real well, but he has some painting on chest hair here, which looks good. Like you can see that texture in that vest. The stitch lines, the actual like leather print, all of that looks really really good. Um, Studded belts, studded wristbands. Um, I'm pretty sure the fists were probably black in the mold, and then they painted the skin tone over it, so it doesn't really match up the greatest. But unless you're like really, really, really eye fucking them, like you're not really gonna be able to tell that, like in pictures or whatever. Um, the vest does hinder the articulation a little bit. He's not able to crunch back very far, but to crunch forward, just open the vest up and crunch him on forward, and it's real good. Also, you can see from here that the vest has this little lip piece here, so it doesn't really allow him to look up as far as you want him to. Um, but I can't really see why I would want him to be looking straight up in the air, personally. So I did notice that the mask itself is not painted on. It's actually a separate piece. Um, Unfortunately, mine seems to want to come up, but I think I might hit him with a little bit of super glue, keep that down on his chin. Um, but other than that, it's not. It's not that bad. Looks real good. Paint apps seem to be pretty legit on this mask. I dig it. Uh, as I was saying, as far as this like articulation, it's just that standard. It's that standard Hyperion body mode type situation with his articulation. Of course, you get your waist swivel. I mean, he can really do the splits if you wanted him to. Kicking up about that far. Kicking back, not so much. Here's what I was talking about as far as the ab crunch. I mean, you can ab crunch real far, but back, not so much because it's hindered by his vest. But again, I'm not going to be making Rage do any kind of backflips. He can look up all the way. But again, like I said, the vest does get in the way of that. Of course, you get complete 360 with the arms, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, boot pivot, ankle rockers, thigh cuts, standard Hyperion body mode. But yeah, man, like, oh yeah. Also, he doesn't come with any accessories besides the abomination Build-A-Figure piece here. This would be his right arm. After seeing the abomination Build-A-Figure piece, like this piece, like seems like he's gonna be a pretty massive guy. If you see any other reviews out there, like people opening these up, like that might be one I might be interested in building. I'm gonna have to, see with this wave. Maybe hold on to this guy until some of that stuff starts dropping down in price. But the wave's pretty solid. I mean, they have Leader, Mach 1 Beetle, Marvel, then of course the Gamerverse characters like Miss Marvel, Iron Man, and Captain America. I mean, these things have hit out at Walmart. I'm not sure about Target, but yeah, guys, go ahead, go out there, pick them up. I do say that Rage is a good pickup. I probably would have liked to have seen him on that Omega Red body, just because of the butterfly joints. But the butterfly joints probably would have been useless with this vest. But yeah, so if you have the ability to pick this guy up, I say do it. You won't. I mean, unless you're not into those like I would say like B list C list Avengers. But again, you can just have him walk. There's some pictures walking down the street beating up some goons. Pretty much your friendly neighborhood type stuff. So yeah, guys. On that note, I'm gonna get up out of here. So I'll holler at y'all later.